Hello, I'm Corey from Advanced Research Computing Services at UVA, and in this video, I'll show you how to use the file transfer tool called Globus. Globus provides a mechanism for high-speed, reliable file transfers between two computers. Currently, it can be used to move files between individual computers and UVA storage locations through a data transfer node, or DTN. In this video, we will demonstrate how to transfer files to Ravana, UVA's high-performance computing cluster. Even if you don't use Ravana, you can use the same steps to transfer files to or from any location on UVA's central storage. Please note that our demonstration only applies to non-sensitive data. If you need to transfer sensitive data, contact ARCS for further assistance. Globus transfers data between endpoints, either via a command line tool or through a web client. An endpoint could be a storage location on Ravana, your laptop or local workstation, a national resource, or a collaborator's external storage location shared via Globus. Here we focus on how to set up a personal endpoint on your computer and use the web client to transfer files from your computer to central storage. You must log into the Globus website to initiate any transfers. Visit globus.org and click on Login at the top of the page. You can log in with NetBadge by selecting the drop-down box below Use your existing organizational login. Search for University of Virginia to start the login process. You must have an ITS identity for this login to succeed, and if you do not, you must contact the ITS help desk. At your first login, you will also have to accept the Globus terms of service before you can finalize your account. If you only need to transfer data within UVA's central storage or between central storage and an external provider that supports Globus, you're ready to transfer files. If you wish to transfer files from a local system, such as a workstation or your laptop, also known as a personal endpoint, you need to install a tool called Globus Connect Personal on your machine. Instructions for the installation and setup of your personal endpoint can be found on our website. We will demonstrate setting up a personal endpoint on a Mac now. The procedure for Windows is very similar. Let's transfer from files from this workstation, my personal endpoint, to the Scratch directory on Ravana. We already opened the Globus website and we logged in with our UVA credentials. On the website, we navigate to the Transfer Files tab. You should see two window panes side by side. We now need to select two endpoints between which we want to transfer files. To find an endpoint, we can just start typing its name into the box on the left. It should locate your endpoint. Select it. Files in your permitted starting directory will appear in the large box. Now let's select the second endpoint to get access to our data on Ravana. In this case, type UVA #main-DTN into the endpoint field. That's the name of the UVA data transfer node that manages data transfers among UVA's file storage systems, including Ravana. Once selected, you will see an icon for UVA file storage locations that you have access to. Navigate to the appropriate folder on each endpoint. To transfer a file or folder, click on the file or folder name. One of the arrows between the endpoint names will turn blue, indicating the direction for the transfer. Click on the blue arrow to initiate the transfer. A text box will appear above the endpoint names saying, Transfer request submitted successfully, task ID, followed by the task ID for that transfer. Depending on the size of the file or files you're transferring, this may take some time. The file transfer happens in the background. You will receive an email when the transfer is completed. You can safely log out through the Account tab once all your file transfer requests have been submitted and acknowledged. Globus may not handle a large number of files, such as several thousand or more. If you have a folder with such a large number of files you wish to transfer, you may need to zip or otherwise package them. Below the file view panes are additional transfer settings. By default, only file integrity will be verified. By checking the appropriate boxes before initiating the transfer, you may also specify other settings. Now let's talk about sharing. You can share your folders with others. It is not necessary that they have UVA credentials, but they must have a Globus account. If your collaborator's institution does not support institutional Globus accounts, they can sign up for an individual Globus account. Files can only be shared from folders accessible from the UVA main DTN. If the folder you wish to share is not visible, please contact us. Set the UVA DTN as one of your endpoints. Navigate so that the folder or file you wish to share is visible. Highlight it, then click Share on the upper right of the menu bar. When the dialog appears, pick a name for the share display name. Globus will treat this as an endpoint. Click Create. If you've already selected the folder you want to share, the Path text box can be left alone. Enter the recipient's name or Globus ID, or click Search. Once it finds the identity, confirm that the email is correct. A new text box with Send Email Check should appear, with a blank text box where you can type a message. If you want the user to be able to write to your shared directory, click the appropriate checkbox. Otherwise, leave it unchecked. Keep in mind, if you grant write permission, the user will be able to delete files and folders, as well as modify them. Click Add Permission to share the folder. The recipient will receive an email containing a link. When they click the link, they will be required to log into Globus. The recipient will then see the folder or files you wanted to share, and will then need to select an endpoint to which the files will be written. Once that is done, file transfer is carried out as described previously. If you need any more information, see the Globus documentation on their website. Thanks for watching, and may all your file transfers be swift.